Okay, welcome members. Now we are going to see how do we determine the center of enlargement using the graphical method. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. As we saw in earlier lessons, we saw how we calculate the center of enlargement. Now here we are going to see how we determine it using a graph. This is my graph paper. You also do yours. You can pause the video and first pause. I'll go through the questions. Okay, this one says, we know that the scale factor is always the image distance from the center of enlargement over the object distance from the center of enlargement. To find the center of enlargement, join any two image points to their corresponding object points, full stop. Then the center of enlargement is where the two lines meet. And as seen, we have a question here. In the diagram below, triangle PQR was mapped to P prime, Q prime, R prime by an enlargement. They are giving us this the diagram, then they are asking us find the center of enlargement. What we will say to get the center of enlargement, you join any 2 points of the image to their corresponding points of the object. Now, if R is here, I join it to the corresponding R of the object. So this is the image, this is the object. So meaning, I'm going to join R prime to R because you join these two. They are corresponding. So you get your ruler, then you join these two. Like the way you see, I'm going to join them here. So now I join, you use the lines if possible. So I'm done now, I'm joining R to R prime. Now get any other, you can get P to P or Q to Q prime. So my Q, let me do it now from Q to Q prime in that order. So if I join them, so now I'm doing them. Now you see Q to Q prime, then R prime. Now you see where the two lines meet will be the center of enlargement. So it's that they are meeting here. So I'm going to read off that point. So now my center of enlargement, Roman numeral 1. My center of enlargement, let me call it C, is going to be, how do we do this point? It's that the x is 0, then the y is 3. So it's 0, 3. As simple as that. Then when I come to the enlargement scale factor, we said the enlargement scale factor is given by the image distance from the center over object distance from the center. So from there, so now my scale factor is going to be, if I'm right here, my Roman 2, my scale factor is going to be, let me get the image from the center. So if this is my C here, so I'm going to get C R prime, it's going to be C R prime over the object distance. Now this is the object R prime. So it will be now C R. So now from there, you just get your ruler, then you measure. When I measure here in my centimeters, I'm getting 2.2. Me, I'm getting 2.2 centimeters. 2.2 centimeters over CR. CR, when I measure, I'm getting 1.1 centimeters. And there, members, you see, when we divide, it's that this one is going to give us 2. So now our scale factor is going to be a 2. Like that with ease. So that's how we handle that. Now, before we finish, but you see that the object and the image are on opposite sides, and you said if they are on opposite sides of the center of enlargement, now we attach a scale factor with the negative, like that. So that's why I'm saying that is negative. Why? Because if this is the center, so this one is one side and this one is one side. So we call it a negative scale factor. So we attach a negative there. So that should be the idea that you shouldn't forget. By the way, you even start it from there. It's going to be negative. Why? Because the two are on opposite sides. Now, from here, when I come to this, triangle ABC was mapped onto triangle A prime, B prime, C prime as shown below. So find the center of enlargement. What we do, we join now C to C, and then we can join A to A prime or B to B prime. So then we join now C to C prime. You just need NA2. You don't join all. NA2. So me, I join this to this now. When I join them there, so you use the lines when you are joining, because it's not part of. So that's what I'm joining now C to C prime. You draw that line through, should be long enough. Then let me join, you can join B to B prime, but let me use this shorter one, A to A prime. So if I have that, then so that's what I have. Sorry, that's what I have. Now we start they are meeting here. So that means that our center of enlargement is there. You see that? This and this they are meeting here. So where they meet, or you can go on even to join the third. If you want to join the third, you see that when you join it, it's also going to be there like this. Or if you want to join the third, but you don't need that. So now, do the center of enlargement. So in my solution, number one, my center of enlargement, let me call it C, is going to be, now it sits at the origin, so it's at 0, 0, like that. The number 2, if I want to get now my scale factor, we say it's image distance over the opposite distance. So my image distance, I measure from here up where C is. So I'll get OC prime over OC. But it's now the object and the image are on one side of the center of enlargement. So we expect the center of enlargement to be positive. So now, if I measure now that one of the image from the center to that image. So me I'm getting 75. When I measure this, I'm getting 75. So this one is giving me, on the other now it's going to be 7.5 centimeters over mine. Okay. If I'm assuming that I'm using a ruler. So here, okay, I'm assuming that I'm using a short ruler because mine is always multiplied by 2. Or if I'm to use this, I'm to use my real scale, it's going to be the same. But, anyway, let me use my real scale. So it's going to be 75. I'm having 75 centimeters over, to you on your ruler, it's going to be 7.5. Over now the object to SC. I'm getting 25 centimeters. I'm getting 25 centimeters. So it's going to be giving me a 3. So therefore, our scale factor is 3. Scale factor has the units. Or from here, my measurements, the ones I use the actual measurements of mine for that scale factor of CR prime over CR. Mine was getting 22 centimeters over 11, which was giving me 2. But because I was just imagining if I was using a straight ruler, mine is always 2 centimeters, 10 centimeters from yours. That's why I was dividing through by 10, 10. So that's what it generated me as. In simple terms, this is our answer there. So that's how we handle that. I wish you well.